What's up YouTube? Welcome back. JDS Outdoors, John here. Today's video we're going to hopefully get the snowblower running. Before I do that, I wanted to show how beautiful it is out back today. And also the water's really high. Let me switch it around. So for those of you that watched my flood vlogs this spring, you'll be able to tell how high this is. We're up to third from the top on the pole there. It's kind of tough to see in the video, but water's there this spring. It was about right where my foot is in relation to the house, down about 4 feet. It came up 18 feet. So right now it's probably up 12 or so. Another 6 to go, and it would have been where it was this spring. But all that rain we had the past couple weeks. Gorgeous today. Well, anyways, let's head in the garage, go work on the blower, show you what I figured out. So here's what I did. Went over to Tractor Supply, the next state over. Picked up a couple small pulleys. I got one V-belt and one idler, or flat. I guess they're both idler pulleys. But anyways, I also bought 3 extremely overpriced pieces of steel. We're going to use that to make our clutch system. Turn it over to the blower here. You can see that I've gutted all of the pulleys out of there so far. They're sitting here. So my plan is I'm just going to completely redesign the back of this just to make my life easier. Kind of start from scratch. We need to have the clutch on this side and the fixed pulley on this side, because this is the drive side. The belt is going to be pulled this way by the engine. The engine will sit up here and it's going to pull it this way. So make life easier, we're just going to whack all this off. We'll probably still use some pieces off of that, but just clear it out, cut all this off. Probably make some brackets that go from here down to the push tube just to get some support. Then I'm going to start off by mounting the engine on its pedestal there and see what we're working with for clearance. I may or may not remove those engine blocks to save some weight and also move the motor down if I have room. If not, they can stay. Not a big deal. So that's my plan. I'm going to go ahead and whack this off quick, start laying stuff out, and get this thing working. Alright, so went ahead and got all that extra stuff cut off the back. Well, now it's a couple days and later and 40 degrees colder, and one snowstorm has passed already. Just a quick dusting. All we've got so far is the idler pulley tacked in place, kind of where it's going to be. We're going to try to figure out how this clutch is going to lay out in here yet. Trying to make the most logical mount I possibly can and go from there. But it's kind of chilly in the garage today, so we're going to go ahead and light up the old fire here so we can work in some warmth. Well, several hours later, I think I have a clutch set up. So I push this lever down and it engages, and I'll put a little latch right here to hold it. You can pull it out, latch it in. When you release it, it gets plenty of tension off of the engine. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully it works. I'm going to get a belt put in here and see if it'll work. Alright, well, got a belt installed and it works. It works pretty well. So all we have left to do is put a little latch right here so we can move this under and hook it in the latch so it'll stay there. And maybe put a little bit of a return spring on this just to hold it up right there. But when it's disengaged, it's got plenty of slack on the belt, so that way the motor turns over pretty easy. And then when you have it fully engaged, it really puts the tension down on that belt. Everything seems to line up fairly well compared to the stock configuration as far as the way the belts twist and move. So heck yes. All this stuff is just tacked on for right now, but I think it's ready to final weld. Then we can go ahead and get some gas in this sucker, some oil, and see how it really spins. Pretty exciting. Alright, got everything burned in. And some of the weird bubbles that happen in the middle of the welds. It's kind of goofy. You can see on that weld there, it got like bubbly. Must have reacted with some paint or something that I missed, but the rest look decent. Got the clutch and the pulleys set aside, ready to install. So that is the next step. Install all the goodies and see if this thing will run. Well, there she is, ladies and gents. Finally. And it even spins the right direction. Let's double check just to make sure before we add oil. But I'm going to go ahead and hold this out here and slowly pull the engine. Look at that. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and tidy this stuff up. Hook it up to the old four-wheeler and see how well she runs after we add a little bit of oil and some gasoline. Put a little bit of premium non-oxy fuel in it. I don't need to fill it up yet. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing to run. Turn her on. Looks like we got the gas on. Choke. Put her at about third throttle. Guess let's see what it will do. Clutch disengaged. That thing is moving. Go ahead and engage the clutch. coming up that chute. That is frickin' sweet. I can't wait to play with this in the snow. Well, that about sums this one up for now. You gotta take the back apart and go ahead and paint it. I'm gonna leave the front, just clean up all this dirt. Leave the original paint on the front. Just paint the back half. Then we're ready for winter. That is going to be awesome. Heck yeah, I can't wait. Sweet. Well, thanks for sticking in there with me, guys. I appreciate you watching, subscribing, and all that other stuff. We have some more cool projects coming up. And also can't forget about the side-by-side, which will happen throughout the course of the winter, with some other cluster F of videos in between. So I will check in on another video somewhere down the road once I get this thing all dolled up, and also first snowfall, showing how it works. So thank you guys, appreciate it. As always, thanks you for watching JDS Outdoors.